So if you could please state your name, spell your name, your position with the school.
Matt Mirabito, M-A-T-T-M-I-R-A-B-I-T-O, and I am a history teacher at Tenafly High School.
All right, so Matt, when I ask you the questions, if you could almost kind of repeat the question back to us in your answer.
Okay.
Tenafly Teen Leads is part of your curriculum at Tenafly High School. How have you utilized civic engagement, site visits, along with your course of studies?
As being part of Tenafly Teen Leads and having that integrated into our curriculum, it has allowed me to introduce topics to the students and also correlate them to actual field experiences. So, for example, when we look at things like public administration, community involvement, security, safety, I'm able to introduce those topics on a broader scale and then provide the students a hands-on experience through Teen Leads to investigate these topics further.
Okay, good.
Okay. Matt, what do you feel this adds to programming in current events and social studies classrooms?
Well, I feel that our students today are more visual learners than they've ever been. And so by adding Teen Leads as part of our engagement in social studies and civics, students can now see the things that they're learning about and researching about and having class discussions about and seeing on the news in class. They can take it outside of the classroom as well. The one thing I can never provide for my students is experience, but Teen Leads can do that for them. They can make the content come alive through various field experiences, field trips, guest speakers that are brought in throughout the year as well.
Can you talk a little more specifically about some of those site visits, some of those experiences?
Mm-hmm. Throughout the years with our involvement with Teen Leads, we have gained unprecedented access to the Bergen County Jail, for example. And so when we have a discussion throughout the year about opioid addiction and the dangers of addiction in general, my students read about it, they research it, they see studies about it on the news, but then they're through Teen Leads, are able to go to the Bergen County Jail and meet with recovering addicts to put a face to the content that they're exploring in class. And it really makes the severity of the situation real. And it really provides a sense of seriousness to the content, that it's not just something that they have to study, but it's something that they need to study to make better decisions for themselves and for the people around them. And then also, we've also gained unprecedented access to the Law and Public Safety Center in Mahwah, New Jersey, through our association with Teen Leads. And that has provided students the access to see exactly what goes into emergency response and the level of responsibility that it takes to be a first responder, whether you're police, fire, EMT, or SWAT, and also to see all the resources that the state of New Jersey has to provide our residents a chance at survival. And it helps explain the correlation between property taxes and services. And it really helps students understand that when you live in an overly populated area, you need to accommodate that mass population, and you also get a lot more benefits by living in a highly populated area where cost of living is high. And it really exposes students to the leadership aspect of this class, that there are leaders in our daily life all around us, and sometimes we don't really appreciate the contributions they're making nor acknowledge them. And it gives my students a chance to do so and really help them understand what it takes to look out for others.
Good.
Matt, can you talk about some of the feedback you've heard from students participating over these past few years?
I've gotten incredible feedback from students over the past few years by being part of the Teen Leads program. A lot of what my students take away from their time with me is those trips that we take through Teen Leads. Students have a greater appreciation for local government. They have a greater appreciation for public administration. They have a greater appreciation for the people that work so hard each day, who really volunteer with no pay, many of them, to create a safe community for them to live in. And it really exposes them to the consequences of their decisions. You know, I've had students tell me that they know what decision to make in their own life because they were exposed to alternative outcomes, negative alternative outcomes that can result from making a poor choice through the numerous speakers that have been provided for us by Teen Leads and these trips to various locations that really make the content come alive for the students.
Matt, can you talk a little bit about community support for the program? For instance, the Mayor's Challenge and some of the projects the students have undertaken these past few years.
So throughout the years, we have been fortunate enough to have a high level of community involvement within the classroom, and that's the whole point of the class, is to have a community project associated with what we're doing here in the class, to give students a chance to envision a policy that they can implement in their community. We've been fortunate enough to have the mayor of Tenafly, Peter Rustin, work with us throughout the years, and from the start he gave us the challenge to create a plan to revitalize our downtown. And we worked with the Chamber of Commerce, and we called multiple businesses, and we researched retail properties in the area. We even created a digital rendering of a park that the mayor and council wanted to remodel in town. And we were able and fortunate enough to present in front of a mayor and council meeting so the students could see that they were listened to and their ideas were valued. And the mayor and council took a very long, hard look at the proposals that the students made to make Tenafly a bustling community for people of all ages and interests. And also were incredibly impressed by the advocacy of the students, their ability to speak publicly, and the creativity and innovation and energy that they brought for the improvement of their own town. We also, throughout the years, have been able to do surveying. We have had multiple parking issues in Tenafly with the various businesses in town. And the mayor, although not the most invigorating of topics, it's a very important one, and that is parking. Where are your customers going to park? Where are your commuters going to park? And where are your employees in town going to park? And the mayor sent my students out throughout the town to survey all of our parking lots to see who was in fact parking there and usage at various times of the day. And we we're very happy to find out that our studies were utilized to change the parking in town. And in fact, one entire lot was redesignated as an employee lot based solely off the findings of my students and the research that they did in class. We've also not only worked with public officials, we've also worked with residents as well. And we have worked with the Northern Valley Greenway Committee, which was established through the Rotary Club here in Tenafly through Mr. McKesh, Andrew McKesh. And through a collaboration between the Northern Valley Greenway Committee, the Rotary Club, and the Chamber of Commerce led by its president, Christine Evron, we were able to research various trails throughout the state of New Jersey. And the feasibility of having a greenway similar to that of the High Line in New York City here in Bergen County. So my students were tasked with, like I previously mentioned, researching trails all throughout the state of New Jersey. We also researched greenways and trails throughout the United States and the world. And we looked at everything from lighting to materials to be used for the surface itself, foliage. We even looked at commerce opportunities for things along the trail, art, and we went as far as even looking at sustainability for the trail itself. Thanks to the association with Teen Leads, we were able to go to Mevo in Mahwah and look at what sustainable farming could potentially do for the trail as well, and make it purposeful beyond it just being a walking, running, biking path. We went as far as to go into New York City and take a historical tour of the High Line itself, a guided tour, where they talked to us about how they funded it, how they maintain it, and how they utilize the High Line to its fullest extent. And then at the end of the year, we presented our findings to the Northern Valley Greenway Committee, made up of residents from all the different towns on the Greenway, on the proposed Greenway. And we even presented them a digital rendering of what the Greenway could look like, done by 2 of my engineering students. And they then used our presentation, our findings, and our digital rendering to present this proposal to various entities throughout Bergen County, whether they be residents, whether they be donors, whether they be legislators. But our findings have been used to promote this project, which is now sponsored by the New Jersey Department of Transportation.
Okay.
Matt, any final thoughts about the present, about the future, how well this program can add to the social studies classroom?
I believe that our association with Teen Leads throughout the years has been a vital component in experience-based learning. You need an entity that is willing and able to put students in positions of leadership, put students in positions where they can be exposed to their local community and local governance, and they can get inside information and unprecedented access to opportunities that many people don't have. And students today need that more than ever. They need to see that what they're learning about in the classroom matters and is being enacted every day throughout the entire year. And I really believe that it is vital that we maintain this relationship with Teen Leads to show students that their ideas matter, that their opinions matter, and that they someday could be the leaders of tomorrow that they meet through our association with Teen Leads.
Would you recommend this program to any other schools?
I'd recommend it to every school.
Okay. Thank you.
I think we're good. I don't think we have to retake anything. He's going to look fun and
No.
Cool.
good.